Hey, listeners. My name is Elisha, the founder of the Witnesses podcast. It's so beautiful to have you listening to our podcast. And I want you to know something that means a whole lot to me. Thank you for tuning in. And one thing I love to tell all of our listeners is it's not just about you listening, but listening to understand. Understanding is the most important thing. So important. So, you have to listen, learn, and practice. Thank you so very much and happy listening.
Hi, Daniel. It's so nice to have you on the show. How are you doing today?
Doing fantastic. I appreciate you having me on.
That's so good. Okay, mm, oftentimes I love to talk about the essence of this show, which is to invite amazing guests like Daniel, to come talk to us about their triumphant stories. Because we believe that in our audience, there might be someone who is stuck up in a situation that Daniel came out of triumphantly. So by that person listening to you speak, he or she might actually pick an information from you that will lead to their transformation. So it's all about bringing or causing transformation into the audience life. It's all about transforming lives and stuff like that. So Daniel, within the next few minutes, let us get started with your story, the challenges that you faced, and how you overcame them. Then afterwards, I've got some beautiful questions for you. Okay, Daniel, over to you.
Fantastic. So I was born in Israel. When I was 6, my family and I moved to China. I lived there until the age of 18, and then I went to university in Canada and has been there for 8 years now in Paraguay, so all over the place. And when I got to China in 2004, I was 6, and it was not westernized at all. There was only Chinese food, and I was the most picky eater on the planet. So, other than chicken nuggets and hot chocolate, I did not consume anything. So, I had an extremely unhealthy diet. And at the age of 12, I started playing basketball. And my brother convinced me that if I want to get better at playing basketball, I should start to eat healthier, which was basically any diet except what I was doing. So I slowly started trying different foods, starting eating healthier, and got into more health, nutrition, into eating better foods. And I noticed that I was very confident on the basketball court, but nowhere else. I didn't feel that confidence translate into everyday life. However, at the age of 17, I started lifting weights and getting more into fitness. And I realized that, unlike a basketball, I could take my body with me everywhere I went. So it was a much more transferable skill. And because of that, I was more into nutrition, I was more into fitness. I decided to go to university in Canada for exercise and nutrition to become a personal trainer, and I worked in a few gyms. Then in 2020, when everything shut down, I started my online business, and now I help people lose weight without going to the gym. And the reason why I chose that is because when everything shut down, I was not prepared, and I was still able to get myself great results even though I was at home without going to the gym. And I also believe that the people that often need the most help to get in shape and improve their fitness hate going to the gym. So that is why I like to help people in that specific demographic.
Mm, I can actually relate to that. The last part you said. Okay, so let us get into the questions, shall we?
Yes.
Um, let's talk about sleeping. So, how can one improve the quality of one's sleep? You got that?
That that's a really good question because unfortunately I can't snap my fingers and make it so that there's a 25 or 26 hours in the day allowing you to sleep for an extra hour or two. But improving the quality of your sleep is often even more important than improving the quantity of your sleep. So I say there's three big things you can do to improve the quality of your sleep. Firstly, dark room, as dark as possible. You can wear an eye mask, you can have blackout curtains, put a towel over electronic lights, anything to make it as dark as possible. Secondly, cool room temperature. So around 65 degrees Fahrenheit 19 degrees Celsius. You can take a hot shower or bath before bed. You can have a thin blanket and a thick blanket to alternate, anything to cool down your body temperature. And the third thing is low stimulation before bed. So you want to avoid technology, the news, arguments, things of that nature. Instead, you want to do meditation, journaling, any of that.
Beautiful. That was a beautiful answer. Okay. What about, let's say someone asks you, hey Daniel, how can I improve my confidence and well-being? What would your response be?
I would say the best way is to get more competent in what I call a transferable skill that you can take with you everywhere you go. So, as an example, if you're extremely competent, skillful at playing piano, you would feel very confident when you play piano. However, in most places when you walk, there isn't a piano, so it's not that transferable. But if you improve your body, you take your body, your fitness everywhere you go. So it's a much more transferable skill. If you're in a room and you meet people for the first time, you might be the top 10% best piano players in the world, or you might be the bottom 10%, but nobody would know. But that cannot be said the same thing for your fitness. As soon as people see you, they instantly know where you rank in terms of how healthy you are, how much you take care of yourself, and that translates into first impressions. Because if you're fit, people will assume that you're more disciplined, you take better care of yourself, you have your life more put together.
That's true. That's true. Okay, so let us go back to fitness. You said something about not going to the gym and all of that. So why do you not advocate for going to the gym? Can we talk more on that?
Because I believe the biggest constraint, biggest struggle that people have is consistency. As an example, out of the last 5 movies that you watched, how many of them were at home on Netflix versus how many of them were in a movie theater? If you like most people, my guess is most of the last movies you watched were at home compared to a movie theater because at home is a lot more convenient. And as I mentioned, the biggest obstacle people face is consistency. And it's a lot easier to be consistent if working at home is if you work at home because it's a lot more convenient. And if you know what to do, you are able to get just as good results. A metaphor I like to use is Gordon Ramsay with 1 pan can make a better meal than the average person can with 5 pans because it's not about how much equipment you have, it's about knowing what to do. And if you're strategic about it, you can work out 20 to 30 minutes at home very quick. You can always find the time. There's way less excuses, and that will allow you to get much better results consistently.
That's so true. Okay, so let us talk about the best diet. What would you say is the best diet
Mhm.
to sustainably lose weight?
So, just like exercise, the best is whatever you can sustain, whatever you can do in the long term. If you can't stick with a diet for a decade, there's no point in doing it for a day. We have to look at a long term solution because the people that I work with are not looking to be bodybuilding world champion. They're not looking to compete. They're looking to lose weight, have more energy, get off medication, get off CPAP, things of that nature. And to do that, we have to do a long-term solution. So instead of saying follow keto, follow vegan, follow carnivore, I say write a list of everything you enjoy eating. Don't filter if it's convenient, healthy, expensive. Just write a list of everything you enjoy eating. After that, underline what you think is also healthy. And after you do that, you have a list that is both healthy and tasty. And if that is 80% of what you eat, you will get really good results. The other 10%, you can eat whatever you want. It can be ice cream, donuts, it doesn't matter. And the last 10% is eating new foods to try out so you can expand your taste buds. So, as an example, 3 days ago was the first time I ever ate papaya. Never had that in my life. But as soon as I had it, I'm like, oh, this tastes really good. So now it's another healthy and tasty food that is in my arsenal. It's about adding more foods. So I recommend that every couple of weeks you try a new food you've never tried before.
I got that. Okay, so but what about people that are extremely busy? How can they lose
Hmm.
weight? Yeah.
Fantastic. So I would say to focus on what I call the easy wins, things that don't take time, don't take a lot of effort, and still move the needle in your favor. So, as an example, right now, I don't know if you can tell, but this is a standing desk. I'm standing. So,
Yeah.
I'm going to be having the session anyways, might as well stand. That burns extra calories. Whenever I'm talking on the phone, I never sit. I always stand and walk. It doesn't take any extra time. I will be having the phone call anyways, might as well move. I always like to have a water bottle within arm's reach close by because that's something that's super simple, doesn't take time, and gives me more energy, makes me feel fuller, which allows me to eat less without being hungrier, which is the entire point. And as we touched on earlier, improving sleep quality. If you improve your sleep quality, it doesn't take any extra time, yet that helps you recover better and burn extra calories.
That's so beautiful. I love how you're answering those questions, and your words are filled with some beautiful insight. I love it.
I
Okay,
appreciate
Daniel.
that.
Yeah, the last question. Let's say there's a piece of advice you'd like to give to the audience. Okay, what would that be? And let's say there are someone listening who would like to reach out to you, learn more about what you do.
Mm.
How can that be possible?
Definitely. So the best piece of advice is invest in the most valuable asset that there is, which is yourself. Because real estate, stocks, crypto might go down, might go up. However, you are the most valuable asset there is. If you improve yourself, your life will be way better than if you invest in anything else. And if you're serious about sustainably losing weight and achieving your goals, then you can find also Instagram and YouTube at Daniel_Raz_fit. And you can check out my website, danielrazfit.com. So that's DANIELRAZFIT.com. Check me out if you're serious about sustainably losing weight. I'll be happy to help you.
Beautiful. Within a very short time, you were able to impact amazing knowledge. I tell you, your words are so filled with
Appreciate
beautiful
that.
insight. Within just 12 minutes, you've done what a great job. I tell you. Okay, so Daniel, that's going to be the end of the show. Thank you so very much for honoring the invite. Thank you for coming. It really means a whole lot. Thank you.
Definitely appreciate it.
Thank you for tuning in to this incredible episode. Your support means the world to us, and we truly value you. We look forward to having you join us for the next episode. If you enjoyed what you heard, please consider rating and reviewing us on Apple Podcasts. Your feedback is greatly appreciated.